point. I tried to talk to her at the Final Four.
Right.
She didn't want to talk to me. My life's going to be good or great with or without Sheryl Swoopes in my life. I'd rather have her in it.
Caitlin Clark is changing the game. She has thanked her for bringing light to the sport of women's basketball.
You might be thinking Nancy Lieberman and Sheryl Swoopes are just two ex-players arguing about stats. But here's the thing. When Lieberman called out Swoopes on live TV, she blew the lid off a much bigger issue in women's basketball. What could make one legend take down another so publicly? Stick around, because this clash is about to change how we talk about the future of the WNBA. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 95% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Picture this. Lieberman and Swoopes, two basketball icons face to face on national TV. The tension's so thick you could cut it with a knife. Swoopes had just made some claims about Caitlin Clark's college career, but Lieberman wasn't having it. She called Swoopes out right then and there, no holding back. Why does this matter? It's not just about who's right or wrong. This is about the future of women's basketball and how we talk about rising stars. When legends clash like this, it shakes up the whole game. You might be wondering what's really going on here. Trust me, there's more to this story than meets the eye, and it's about to change everything. So, what's really behind this heated debate? Two words: Caitlin Clark. While Lieberman and Swoopes were trading jabs, Clark was busy making history. But here's the kicker. It's not just about how many points she's scoring, it's about how she's scoring them, and why that's got the entire WNBA on notice. Let's talk about Clark's impact. This isn't just another talented rookie. We're witnessing a player who's changing the game before our eyes. Nancy Lieberman put it best when she said, "What Caitlin Clark has done for the game is generational." And she's not exaggerating.
Hundreds of fans lined up.
Oh, yeah.
What Caitlin Clark has done for the game is generational.
Clark didn't just enter the WNBA. She stormed in and shattered records left and right. During her 4 years at Iowa, she racked up an mind-blowing 3,951 points. That's not just breaking the NCAA women's career scoring record, it's obliterating it. She even surpassed the legendary Pete Maravich's mark.
When Caitlin was still playing at Iowa and she had just broken Maravich's record. And it was all over the place, as you and I have discussed that.
But here's where things get messy. Sheryl Swoopes started throwing out some numbers about Clark's career, and they didn't add up. Swoopes claimed Clark played 5 college seasons and took 40 shots per game. Problem is, those stats are way off. Clark played 4 seasons, not 5, and averaged 20.1 shots per game. Big difference. This is where Lieberman stepped in. She wasn't about to let those inaccuracies slide. On national TV, she called Swoopes out, insisting she get the statistics right. It's not just about defending Clark, it's about respecting the game and the records being set. You might wonder why this matters so much. It's simple. When legends like Swoopes get the facts wrong, it can unfairly tarnish a rising star's reputation.
You know, you can say whatever you want. You can have your own opinion about anybody, but you do have to get the statistics right. I mean, facts matter. Point. I tried to talk to her at the Final Four.
Right.
She didn't want to talk to me. My life's going to be good or great with or without Sheryl Swoopes in my life. I'd rather have her in it.
But here's the thing. Clark's game speaks for itself. Even the Dallas Wings players, who've seen her up close, can't deny her talent. One of them straight up said, "Caitlin is good. I think we all know that." Clark isn't just scoring. She's doing it with style, sinking clutch three-pointers, and making plays that leave defenders scratching their heads.
Yeah, she's a really good player. I mean, you guys, everybody sees it, I think. You just look forward to those matchups when you're a competitor.
That's the first thing when I walked into the locker room, I said, because Caitlin is good. I think we all know that. I mean, she hit 2 back-to-back threes just.
She's forcing teams to rethink their strategies and pushing the boundaries of what we expect from a rookie. This clash between Lieberman and Swoopes isn't just about defending Clark, it's about acknowledging a shift in women's basketball. Clark represents a new era of players who are elevating the game to new heights. Her impact goes beyond stats. She's bringing new fans to the sport and inspiring the next generation of players. To her credit, Swoopes later admitted her mistake about Clark's years in college. She said, "I made a mistake in saying it was your 5th year when it is your 4th. It shows that even legends can get it wrong sometimes." But it also highlights how important it is to get the facts straight when we're talking about game-changing players like Clark. Speaking of legends getting it wrong, you might think a simple correction would put this debate to rest. Think again. The Clark comments were just the spark that ignited a full-blown feud between two of women's basketball's biggest names. Nancy Lieberman and Sheryl Swoopes, two titans of the game, found themselves at odds in a way nobody saw coming. It all started when Lieberman stepped in to replace Swoopes as an analyst for a Dallas Wings game. Sounds simple enough, right? Wrong. This swap set off a chain reaction that had the basketball world buzzing. Lieberman didn't just take Swoopes' seat. She called her out on national TV. Why? Because accuracy matters, especially when you're talking about a game changer like Caitlin Clark. Lieberman wasn't about to let misinformation slide, not when it came to a player who's rewriting the record books. But here's where things get really heated. Swoopes didn't take this call out lying down. She fired back with a comment that speaks volumes. "My life is good without you too." Ouch.
You just get ahead of this and just say, hey, I made a mistake on my numbers. Then this thing is over and everybody respects you for your opinion.
That's not just a disagreement. That's a relationship in shambles. You might be wondering why this matters so much. It's not just about two former players bickering. This clash is shaking up the entire basketball community. It's forcing everyone to take a hard look at how we talk about rising stars and their achievements. Think about it. When legends like Swoopes and Lieberman go at it, people listen. Their words carry weight.
Sheryl Swoopes was not going to be calling yesterday's game in Dallas. She actually got replaced by Nancy Lieberman, and she did an outstanding job.
And right now, those words are painting very different pictures of the future of women's basketball. Swoopes' initial comments about Clark's records raised eyebrows. She questioned the legitimacy of Clark's achievements, pointing to the extra season granted due to COVID-19. But Lieberman wasn't having it. She stood firm in her defense of Clark's talent and impact on the game. This isn't just about stats anymore. It's about respect. It's about acknowledging the game-changing talent that's pushing women's basketball to new heights. And it's about getting the facts straight when you're in a position to influence public opinion. The fallout from this feud is real. Both Swoopes and Lieberman are facing scrutiny from fans and fellow analysts alike. Stephen A. Smith even jumped into the fray, criticizing Swoopes for downplaying Clark's contributions. It's turning into a full-blown media circus. But here's the thing. This controversy isn't just damaging reputations, it's highlighting a bigger issue in women's basketball. There's a divide forming between the old guard and the new wave of talent. And how we bridge that gap could shape the future of the sport. You might think this feud is just about Caitlin Clark, but it's opening up a whole new playbook for women's basketball. How could one player's stats spark a revolution in the WNBA? Let's break it down. This clash between Lieberman and Swoopes isn't just about defending Clark's records, it's shining a spotlight on how we talk about and celebrate rising stars in women's basketball. When legends like these two go head to head, it's not just drama, it's a game changer for the entire sport. Think about it. This conflict is forcing everyone to take a hard look at how we represent emerging talents. It's not just about getting the numbers right. It's about giving credit where it's due and recognizing the impact these young players are having on the game. Lieberman hit the nail on the head when she talked about Clark's potential to help female players become multi-millionaires one day, like Tiger Woods did, like Michael Jordan did.
So many great players, but what you're doing, you're going to make all these women multimillionaires one day, like Tiger did, like Michael Jordan did. As a baller to a baller, I just want to say thank you to you, Caitlin Clark.
Absolutely.
For just lifting our game up.
That's not just hype. It's a vision for the future of women's basketball that's got everyone talking. But here's where things get really interesting. This controversy isn't just about Clark. It's sparking a larger conversation about how we support and nurture talent in women's basketball. It's raising questions about the role of analysts, the power of accurate representation, and the responsibility we all have to push the sport forward. The WNBA is at a crossroads. On one side, you've got the old guard used to doing things a certain way. On the other, you've got this new wave of talent that's pushing boundaries and breaking records. How we bridge that gap could shape the future of the league for years to come. But here's the thing, this clash isn't just exposing problems, it's opening doors for positive change. It's forcing everyone to think twice about how they discuss young talents. It's encouraging a more supportive, constructive narrative around emerging players. And that's good news for everyone who loves the game. Imagine a WNBA where rising stars are celebrated, not questioned, where their achievements are recognized, not downplayed, where the focus is on how they're elevating the game, not on picking apart their stats. That's the kind of league that could attract new fans, inspire the next generation of players, and take women's basketball to new heights. This controversy might have started with a disagreement over stats, but it's turning into a catalyst for change. It's pushing the WNBA to evolve, to embrace new talent, and to rethink how it presents itself to the world. And that's a win for everyone involved. This clash between Lieberman and Swoopes isn't just about two legends butting heads. It's changing how we talk about rising stars in women's basketball. Lieberman's words hit hard. We shouldn't hate on her. We should celebrate her, not tolerate her.
And we shouldn't hate on her. We should celebrate her, not tolerate her.
Caitlin Clark is changing the game, and she has thanked her for bringing light to the sport of women's basketball.
She's not just defending Clark. She's calling for a whole new attitude in the sport. Think about it. When top players can't agree on basic facts, it messes with how we see the game. But it's also a wake-up call. We need to look closer at what commentators are saying and why they're saying it. It's time to celebrate the players who are pushing the game forward, no matter who they are or where they came from. This isn't just about Clark or any one player. It's about the future of women's basketball. And that future looks brighter than ever.